The funniest thing that has ever happened in the United States is playing out right now. You're not going to believe the evidence that I'm playing for you today. Several top law enforcement officers are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to find what I'm about to show you. A bunch of corrupt FBI agents have been hiding the evidence in the top national investigation. Y'all, this makes the Keystone Cops look silly. I have the evidence they're looking for, and I'm going to put it on this video so that you can download it. Honestly, I've got tons of it on my website at ferrisbroxton.com. Just don't tell anyone or you'll ruin the prank, okay? Let them do their little phony investigation, and then when it's all over, you'll have all the evidence that they tell you doesn't exist. Let me show you that this is real. Before we get started, I want you to realize this is a real legitimate investigation. They're spending millions of taxpayer dollars to find what I hid in plain sight. And I'll tell you, I was part of this heist, okay? I didn't take the money. I did it to catch the people that were stealing the money. This wasn't something that I wanted to do. All right. So let's get started. This is the Acting Attorney General of the United States, Todd Blanche. He's going to tell you that they are investigating this right now. Clip one,
just
please.
Laid out the last 10 years. You heard the former chairman of the Intelligence Committee saying that there has been a conspiracy over 10 years. What have you done about it?
Well, look, that's exactly what we're investigating right now. And
Okay, but wait for it. You know there are millions that want to see the folks that attacked Trump in America held accountable. But the big question is, clip two, please.
And we want to understand why that happened, why there continued to be an effort by operatives in the government to go after President Trump while he was in office, and then, of course, over the past several years as well.
They want to see why Sally Yates and Jim Comey classified Trump as a Russian agent. They want to see why these people try so hard to cheat in elections. You see, Todd Blanche doesn't know that I was on a heist with the person that led the attack against Trump in America. The whole case is on my website. Todd Blanche can't hear me because the U.S. attorneys and FBI agents that were robbing the Treasury here in North Dakota can intercept phone calls and control the investigation. They can silence the witnesses like me. Here, watch. I'm going to show you a video of them doing that. But first, let me show you who exactly is conducting the investigation. This is too funny. Clip 3, please.
Well, I mean, look, as has been publicly reported, the Southern District of Florida has an open criminal investigation. That involves hundreds of subpoenas. It involves hundreds of witnesses. And so as far as timing and when we can expect it, we are working hard and we are working efficiently, but we are going to do it right. We are not going to rush something that isn't ready. We're not going to reach a conclusion before our investigation is over. But I assure you, and I assure the American people, that we are completely focused on it.
Okay.
So he says the Southern District of Florida is investigating, and they have hundreds of witnesses and subpoenas. So why can't they hear me? You guys will see. I got a whole website set up. The louder I yell, the more they ignore me. You're not going to believe this. I'm going to call those investigators in the Southern District of Florida. I've done it many times before. You're not going to believe what the guy who answers the phone says to me. I'm just going to play you a few short clips from this video because this drama it's been going on for years. This video is like 15 minutes long. It's my video. If you want to see the full thing, you can watch it at Ferris Broxton, or you can watch it on YouTube here. Ferris Broxton, I'm sorry. You can probably watch it on YouTube, but Facebook will have it also. It's titled, "This is the U.S. Attorney's Office Obstructing the Grand Conspiracy Investigation." So I made this phone call just 2 weeks ago, May 1st, 2026. Clip 4, please.
This case is going to prove that Sally Yates, the U.S. attorney that signed the FISA warrant against Trump, the point person, the person that is the most culpable and responsible that should be prosecuted in the grand conspiracy was using FISA to run organized crime. That's what this case proves.
But my question is again, why are you calling Miami if this was filed in Georgia?
Because Miami's investigating the grand conspiracy.
That I have no idea, sir, because it doesn't come up on my database. So,
It's announced by our Attorney General publicly on national news that this is all over the national news.
well, sir, again, based on my information here, I cannot tell you what's going on or what's going on. We don't have the information based on that number you gave me.
Okay, do you have the case number for the grand conspiracy?
What number is that, sir?
I don't have it. The grand conspiracy case. Do you have, can I talk to Joe DeGeneva?
Don't recognize that name, sir.
Okay, what I'm experiencing is I'm experiencing someone who is repeatedly at the U.S. Attorney's Office answering the phone telling me they're not aware of what's going on in top national news. What's your name?
I'm the receptionist, sir.
You're the receptionist for Jason Quinones.
I'm receptionist for the United States Attorney's Office here in South District of Florida, sir.
Okay, and you don't know who Joe DeGeneva is because national news says Joe DeGeneva was sent down to that district to help out with the grand conspiracy case, and you're telling me you don't know that case number or anything about it.
No, sir.
I don't believe you. I think
So you just saw someone claiming to be in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Southern Florida that can't put me in touch with the people in charge of the investigation. That fella claims not to know about the grand conspiracy investigation. This guy claims he can't help me reach Joe DeGeneva or Jason Quinones. He doesn't even know who they are. Jason Quinones runs that office. Joe DeGeneva was sent down to South Florida to oversee the investigation after one U.S. attorney was dismissed for obstructing the case. Here's a picture. Graphics 1, please. So this is Joe DeGeneva right there in the center in South Florida, in the Southern Florida Federal Building, with the Attorney General Todd Blanche, who you heard earlier, and Jason Quinones, who is the U.S. Attorney. That's his office. Graphics 2, please. This is Joe DeGeneva naming Sally Yates as a target in this treasonous conspiracy investigation. She's the one that pulled the trigger, not Comey. She told me she would attack Trump. I have all the evidence to support my testimony. It's what happens at the end of this video that's so amazing. This phone call never goes to the Southern District of Florida. Someone pretending to be in the Southern District of Florida is intercepting this phone call and putting on a performance. Watch where the call shows to be received. Clip 5, please.
Why does that show up as Minot? 1-305-961-9000. Look at that. That shows up as a Minot number. 1-305-961-9000.
So the phone call shows to be intercepted in Minot. Who in Minot has the ability to intercept phone calls? I'll answer that question for you. It's the FBI. Yes, there's an FBI office right here in Minot, North Dakota, where I live and where I placed the call. I just think you should know what they're up to with your money. What you saw was FISA abuse. The man pretending to be in South Florida really isn't in South Florida. He's right here in Minot, North Dakota, in the FBI office where they can intercept your phone calls. He's putting on a good act and probably using some technology to help him do just that. You can watch the whole video of that act on my Facebook thread, and you can watch another one of the U.S. Attorney's Office here in North Dakota doing the same thing, in case there's any real debate about who's doing it. These are conspiring criminals who are using high-tech means to obstruct the investigation the citizens want. These criminals they don't want to be held accountable, okay? They have the technology to silence the witnesses. Now here's the joke. I stung Sally Yates. I literally went undercover and stung the U.S. attorney that attacked Trump. She was trying to force me into a criminal heist that I didn't understand and I didn't want any part of. When she was caught, she tried to arrange paying me off with the same sort of fraud that she was running. She knew that U.S. attorneys across this country would cooperate with a heist that they had complete control over. The risk of being caught was very low because they have this technology to obstruct investigations that I just showed you. She knew that many U.S. attorneys were robbing the citizens blind and covering it up with their high-tech capabilities. The U.S. attorneys here in North Dakota got the video of me stinging Sally Yates. They fell for it. My performance when I stung Sally Yates was good enough that Drew Wrigley and Nick Chase were convinced that I would never be able to roll over on them. I've been reporting Sally Yates to the FBI since 2017. When the grand conspiracy investigation started, when Sally Yates classified Donald Trump as a Russian agent, when Jim Comey conspired with her. If they listened to me and investigated the crime that I was reporting in 2017, our country would never have been overthrown. The truth about Sally Yates would have been brought out into the light just as soon as she attacked Trump. What I'm about to show you now is a video of a man at the FBI Western headquarters in Salt Lake City, Utah. They won't give me a receipt showing that I was there, or an agent's name, not even an ID number. So I was out front after spending an hour trying to be heard in the FBI building, talking to an agent, and they wouldn't give me any proof that I was there. So I was out front making a video documenting who I met with and proving that I was there. Watch them run me off. Clip 6, please.
Relationship with Judge Motes, Pam Dodd Motes, and Sandy Saxton very eloquently explained. He wanted to know how it related to Salt Lake. I went on to talk about what was going on with the case with Swift and how I came to Salt Lake. I told him about the video that was made over the CB radio, and he listened, and until he got everybody's name and pretty much could tell what had happened, pretty much listened to the whole story, but never got the whole story, and then just said, I can't help you. So there's nothing I can do here. I don't see why the FBI in Salt Lake would care. Didn't show any concern at all for, how you doing? He didn't show it. I'm sorry?
Time to leave.
Okay, I'll leave. You can see how they are here. Can I get your name?
No.
Okay, can't get his name. He's gonna make me leave and I can't get his name. So, you got that very well documented there, and they're hostile. They're gonna run you off if you try to make it.
So there you have it. The FBI was silencing America's most important eyewitness while Sally Yates and Jim Comey attacked Trump in America. Picture 3, please. This is Sally Yates and Jim Comey being sworn in. Don't tell anybody. They don't need your help. They are completely focused on this case.